Welcome to my Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. Join Larissa and Malerie as they explore biohacking tips for women based on the latest science and research available today. Let them help you unlock your best self. It's time to hack smarter, not harder, together.
Hello, hello. Welcome. We are very excited today. We have one of my favorite people in the world with us today, Soraya Santiago. She is a coworker and a friend for over 10 years, probably 13 or 14 years now. So we're very excited to have her on. She is a huge success that Jenny Worth talked about last week on our podcast. So she said, because when we asked her who was one of her biggest successes, and Soraya came up. And so I know personally, because I work with her every day, I saw her. She's always been active and I'm going to say an athlete, like fit. And so it was crazy watching her do Jenny's challenges as she just shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk. Because I think she did, Soraya, you did 4 challenges so far? 4 or 5?
Yeah.
And she,
I did it 4 rounds.
She just got leaner and leaner and leaner and leaner. And I always thought she was in great shape when she started. So when I was like, what? And then you just saw her slowly just shred it all down. And now she's super lean, and we're very excited to talk about her journey today. So Soraya, can you explain more about what your lifestyle was before the Jenny challenge and after, and how that has impacted your life?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to say I joined LA Fitness when I was 30 years old. So that would be, I'm 53 now. So I was working out 3-4 times a week. There were times where I was running with a running group and I was training for half marathons and I was doing all of the things. And I loved hiking and I'd go on 10-mile hikes. And I never missed my cardio classes like kickboxing. And once I found a teacher I liked, I was there for years and years and years. So it was like cardio,
love kickboxing. Man.
Yeah. And then I got into step aerobics and I did that for years and years. And so I looked great. I was looking great and feeling great and eating whatever I wanted. And I would always say to people, well, I can eat and drink whatever I want because I work out 4 times a week. And I maintained my weight until about, late 30s. And then I was like, oh, what's happening? I was going to yoga. I had muscle. When I look back at my pictures, I was like, wow, I look really good. But something happened where I was not getting the same results, even though I was doing the same things. And I now know that I was starting to go into perimenopause. I was starting to slow down with the estrogen and all of these things. I didn't know that then. And it takes years. So I would say when I started noticing weight gain and like, I'm not feeling great, was 46. I was like, oh my gosh, my pictures. But because everyone around me was so inflamed, I was like, I still look good. I'm still the fit one. I'm still the strong one. And everyone would consider me the healthy one of my friends group, my social circles, even at work. Oh, you're so strong and so athletic. And I was like, okay, this is the best that I can look at this age. And outwardly, I was okay with it because I did feel like compared to my social circles, I was like, yeah, I still look good. Yeah, I'm still looking good, and I hit 151. And I remember one night I was like, I don't want to go over 150. And now I'm at 151 and I'm doing all the same things. I was working out like crazy.
Nothing changed, right?
Nothing changed. And I was a big drinker, like loved drinking and loved making whiskey sours and whiskey, old fashions at home. And, I get home from work and make one. Like I would say that I drank almost every day, but I didn't think it was an issue because I'm like, I work out every day too. It was like, I can drink every day. So I hit that 151 mark. I was starting to notice in pictures. I'm like, oh my God. And then I started noticing something I never had before, which was this little mental belly. What people call the mental belly. I was like, oh my God, I have it. And on top of the physical, I had lots of joint pain. And I was like, this is because I work out all the time. I'm just sore. I'm sore inside. And then I would tell the doctor like this and that. She's like, yeah, you're at that age. Oh, shrug your shoulders. It is what it is. And I'm like, oh my God, this is kind of sad. So one day at our cardio class that we love to do, me and my best friend, Jenny announced, I'm going to be doing this fitness challenge if anyone wants to join it. And usually I don't follow anyone's plans or diets because I'm like, I've been able to stay in great shape my whole life by myself, doing my own thing. But my best friend who's had 2 kidney transplants and has had lots of health issues, was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. She was in great health now, but at that time she was like, I'm going to do it. And I was like, I'll do it with you. Moral support. I'll help you out. Like, I was doing it like doing her a favor almost. And like, yeah, like I'll do it with you because I'm so, athletic and motivated that, yeah, I could help you. But deep down inside, I was like, I can stand to lose a couple pounds. Really, just maybe get under that 150. I was at 151. I was like, if I lose 5 pounds, I'll be, so happy. And we started one day, and like 3 days later, we have our morning conversation. Every day I call her in the morning. And she's like, you know what? I slept so good last night. I don't have that pain in my hips. And I was like, oh my God, my pain in my neck went away. And I'm driving in the car and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. This is crazy. And every day in the morning we would go like, hey, this and hey, that. And then I get to work that first week and my friend's like, are you wearing makeup? I know. She's like, your skin looks amazing, And why? Because I started drinking water. I had started drinking water. So I stopped drinking. When the challenge started, it was like no alcohol, no processed food, drink lots of water. And the water was hell for me because at work, I would take one little bottle of water on Monday and it would be there on Friday still. I would sip it maybe a little bit.
That's
but
me.
To me,
yep.
Yeah, I know. I heard you before. But to me, it was like if I did a long run back in the day, I wanted a beer. I didn't want butter at the end. I want a beer, Or if we did an awesome hike, we went to go to a brewery afterwards. We weren't going to go hydrate, It's like.
So you were the person that was running the marathon where they would hand you wine or beer while you're running? Have you seen those guys at the marathons?
Yeah, I would have totally done that and thought it was okay because I just ran. It's like, fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, my friend commented about my skin and I was like, oh God, okay. My pain in my neck went away. My skin's looking better. I'm sleeping better, like immediately. I have my little handy dandy notebook here because I started like just logging little changes because I was like, oh my God, my going to the restroom. I was like, wow, that's really impressive and amazing, when you're not eating processed food and not drinking alcohol, like your poops looks healthy. And I mean, I was like shocked. And she would tell me the same thing.
So it made you regular? Is that what you're saying?
Regular. And like when you look up what a healthy shit should look like, that's what it looked like. Like, look it up.
I actually checked that box.
Like, I was like, because me and my best friend, it's so funny. I'm like, she'd be like, girl, I wanted to send you a picture. I'm like, I want to send you a picture of my shit. Like, oh my gosh. She's like, mine is picture worthy. I'm like, no, girl, like, just clean. Like, you're clean. By the time you're done, you're like, I'm done. Like, I pooped. Where if unhealthy poop, I don't know. You feel bloated. You just feel amazing. And so little by little, like in that first week, we were not talking about weight loss. We were just talking about my headaches, my this, my that. That first weigh-in was that week after I'd already lost like 3 pounds. I'm like, what the? I can totally do this because I loved her food. Yeah. I wasn't hungry. I was like, this is working. And then like every week, not just me and my friend were dropping, but everyone in that group was dropping. And so I was getting really excited. Oh my God, I can totally do this. And I have my weight loss. It's just very gradual, but every week it went down. And I was getting stronger because I started doing her workouts. And so I will say the last time that I looked thin and fit and muscular was in my 30s when I was running and weight training. But now at this age, I'm like, my knees hurt. I can't be running, so I was glad. I was like, oh my God, I can look like this again. I was starting to find myself again. I was like, I can look the way I did when I was running without running. Oh my God. Like I was so excited. I would text Jenny like, this shit works. Like I was like, I can't believe this shit is working. And that's why I signed up again. Because the first time I did it, I had lost weight, but I was not that heavy lifting because I was doing it at home and I was almost afraid. What if I lift something too much and injure myself? Or I remember having something overhead like this and I was like, I reached a kind of a limit of what I can do on my own.
Show us your guns.
Yeah, put those guns up.
Yeah.
Yeah. For everybody listening, her arms look amazing. So
I started just seeing myself come back, and I was like, I have to sign up for this again. And the second time I do it, because now I understood, it's really sad, but I had never really shopped at a Sprouts or a Mother's or one of those markets before, Whole Foods. I was like, that's dumb. Seriously, that is, I was like, that is so dumb. I'm not going to go read every label and all this stuff. So thank God my best friend did it with me, because she's very detail oriented and I'm just scatterbrained, big picture. Just grab something, beef jerky. It doesn't matter. Or a shake, doesn't matter. Like to see the stuff that's on the healthy food aisle that really isn't healthy. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. It's just really eye-opening. But my friend kept me on the plan, because she was like, oh no, you can't have that. Oh no, on this page it says this. And so we would kind of cook together and try recipes together. Never cheated. The whole 7 weeks I was going to stick to it. Just like because Larissa knows I love science too. Larissa, you and I are like, science at school. I wanted to do a science experiment. Like, let me see if I follow this lady's plan, So I learned how to eat. And so the second time I did it, now I wasn't having to focus on the diet and what am I going to buy. Now I knew I go into that store and I get these 3 things, and I go into that store and get that thing,
Yeah.
Socially, it became a thing because people miss the drunk Soraya and the buzz Soraya and the Soraya that if somebody wanted to drink, I'm like, let's go, That was hard. And
they wanted you to entertain them.
Right. In the process of finding my physical body, I started feeling disconnected from things, and I did sign up for therapy, and I feel like I'm grieving something, but I didn't want to go back to it. I don't want to go back to drinking, but I feel now like on the outside of every social circle. And I listened to a podcast about it, and it's a real thing where people stop drinking and their whole social circle's like, now I feel judged by you, and I was like, how do I navigate this? Which the therapy has been wonderful, because it's like bringing up other things, other issues that all those years of drinking were kind of masking. And
right. You can hide from it or hide it. Hide
right.
the
But now, right. So now it's like, I got the physical part done. I got the diet, the nutrition. Now it's like, let me get my mind right. And now I listen to you guys and all these podcasts about the gut and the mind and all this stuff. This all makes perfect sense. This is all coming together for me, but it comes together every time I do Jenny's 7 weeks. I focus on a different thing every single time. And I see I'm going in the right direction for sure. I can see myself 20 years from now being super fit and strong and healthy, and because really
and not fragile.
Right. And this whole thing started when my kid's father and I split up, and I remember feeling weak in every way. And I was like, I need to go to the gym. It's all started with this motivation to be strong for my kids. I never wanted them to worry about me. And that was back when I was 29, 30 years old. And now more than ever, I'm like, I do not want my kids to worry about me. And they don't. They look at me, they're like, Mom, like, my kids give me a birthday card as Wonder Woman on the outside. I'm like, oh, yay, this is what I want them to see me as. Strong and capable and competent and all these things. So, I feel really great about where I'm going. And I love your podcast because it's just like the stars aligned for me. I love hearing that you guys, and I love that you guys do all the homework for me. You do all the reading and you do all the homework for me. So I listen, it just confirms in my mind. It's like, yes, this is what I should be doing. This is what everyone should be doing.
Yeah.
I wish everybody would.
And you're not alone on the journey, right? We're doing it together. So
exactly. So yes, I was so excited.
Last week when we were interviewing Jenny, then Malerie told her, she's like, I want to be in the best shape of my life, because I think right when you go into that perimenopause state, and you can start, just like what you said, you start feeling your body changing, and you can go 2 ways, whether you can just live with it, like everybody's doing it. So we could go down that path and all be inflamed, or we could go the different path and just try to understand our own bodies and figure out what is going to impact our body to make us as strong as we can be going into our, the next decade. And so when Malerie said that last week, it really hit home to me. And it's like, yes, why not now? Why not work together as a community and really become the best selves that we can be? Because that is what is going to change our future. Doing what everybody else is doing is not going to change our future.
I know, exactly. We're all going to end up like our parents if we do nothing. And the beautiful thing is that there are so many things we can do, like so many little habits that you just change. And then by the time you're finished, you've changed your lifestyle.
Well, and we
And
also know more now. There's so many new things that we have learned that help us that weren't available maybe to our parents. They didn't understand or know, but we know better. So if we know better, we should do better. And so that is what I do love about this podcast and doing all this research, is that I like to know what we're learning, what we're studying as a population, and the things that we can do that actually help combat so many of the struggles that we face that even our parents didn't. And so it's just a whole new field.
I have to give a shout out to my mother. She's 82. Never drove, never had a license. So she walked into her entire life. She still walks everywhere now. Never drank, never smoked, never partied. I mean, we were just like, you are the most boring person ever, but, and no processed food, all this science and everything that I'm learning, I'm just like, that's why my mom is a healthy 82-year-old. I just have that example before me. I'm like, oh my God. So when I say we'll end up like our parents, I mean, she doesn't have muscle. I'm constantly like, mom, eat protein. Mom, here's this, mom, but everything else about her lifestyle, it explains why she's outlived so many of her siblings, why she's outlived so many of her friends, and not just outlived them, but she's thriving. She just went to the doctor the other day and she's like, the doctor said my hair looks amazing, so healthy, my blood pressure's perfect, and we're going traveling next week. I just wish she had known what we know and had started lifting and,
muscle, how much it combats so much. It's so true.
But it's not too late. I'm going to get her some little dumbbells and get her going.
It's like not too late.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like that's definitely what we have learned doing this is you can literally start today at any age. And every day that you start, it will make the next 10 years even better. So every day matters.
I know. And every time you heavy lift, like with Jenny, and this is why I started with Jenny, like after I had that first challenge, Jenny had prized me 2 sessions with her. But that's another thing. I was like, I'll never pay for a trainer. That's crazy. I could do it all in my garage, And I went with her, and every time I see her, because I go so heavy and I'm able to go heavy with her instantly, I was like at night, like, am I feeling my body change? I'm losing my mind. Am I going crazy? What is the sensation like? And I would wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I went again, and then I signed up. I was like, I want to come now I'm doing 3 days a week, but I'm telling you, it's like that heavy weight lifting changes you quickly, and you could see it. I feel it instantly. I'm like, wow, this is amazing.
Well, in the challenge, when she kept talking about cardio, if you don't have very much time and you have to pick between cardio and strength training, always choose strength training. And I do the opposite, where I always pick rucking or walking because it gets me out in nature. It's kind of like therapy, and I feel like I'm exercising. And so that was the biggest shift for me. And so I also got a trainer, but I only go 1 day a week because I needed support in lifting and pushing myself to go harder.
I know, but I love Jenny because she's like, eat and lift, eat and lift. She was like, keep eating, because I used to go on long hikes even when I started training with her. And then I was like, why am I going on these long hikes? I want my protein to go to my muscles. I don't want to be doing this anymore. I was like doing a math equation. Mm-hmm. I want to do her jump class on the weekends on the beach, and it's beautiful. And it's like so good for my soul. Like you said, it's like, this is so fun, but I'm going to be very careful where my protein, my nutrients go. I want them to go to my muscle, and I want to maintain it. So I'm careful almost with cardio, Now I'm
that's a very good question. That's a good transition. How did your approach to cardio change and your approach to working out? How does it differ now than it did before?
Well, sadly, I did a lot of running, and I, like everyone else in that age group, our knees, it's like, oh, my knee. And then I slowed that down, but I knew I still had to do cardio. But I remember during COVID, I don't like doing things by myself. I'm a very social workout person. So I started getting into bar tone. And so there was no real cardio there, but I was sculpting, and I was like, oh God, this is amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was getting like the muscle and things, but the cardio wasn't there and the nutrition wasn't there. So I wasn't looking my best, but I still like the muscle tone. So it changed because of my knees. And then I discovered this class, that's Jenny's class, is the rebound boots that have no impact on your knees or very little impact on your knees. And so I was doing that. And I was like, this is amazing. So when people saw me lose 20 plus pounds, they're like, oh, is that from your jump class? I'm like, no, it's not from my jump class. It's from my diet, and it's from bodybuilding, but I mean, the jump class is amazing and great for heart health and all of those things. So I like that now unknowingly I did find that balance. Just do the jump class as a sprinkle on top, a very fun sprinkle on top, because she does really hard and then your heart rate goes up and down the whole hour, and then focus on the bodybuilding. So my body told me to stop running.
So it sounds
And
like you shifted from, you were doing almost exclusively cardio to now you're doing the greatest majority is weightlifting with a little cardio sprinkled in.
Totally. That's exactly what happened. But it didn't happen because of the science that now I love is agreeing with me. It happened because I couldn't do it anymore. My knees were hurting. And I couldn't, with the extra weight too, I couldn't run the same. It wasn't enjoyable. Like, this doesn't feel good anymore. And I remember going to the doctor and they're like, stop running. I just couldn't do it anymore. Oh,
that's interesting.
And that's when I found that jump class. And I was like, oh, once I did that one time, I was like, I cannot live without this. Like, it's crazy. It's right on the beach, the ocean behind you, the breeze, loud music, fun people, costumes. Every weekend, it's like, oh, it's Mardi Gras this weekend. You know, I was like, this is amazing. So that scratched the itch for cardio for me.
That sounds so fun. I would totally do that.
Well, when you come here, you guys have to come. It is just amazing.
Yes,
and
Larissa,
thank God
the next
for it.
time I come, we're going to that class.
I love
And
it.
I'm so grateful for it because that's how I met Jenny. And I was doing her class for years and years and never even thought about, I wonder what Jenny eats. You know, I was just like, I'm the best that I can be. She shows pictures before and after of me at the jump class. I'm like, oh shit, I can't believe I wore that. Like, I did not look good. But I thought in my mind, I'm like, I look great. Like, this is 50, you know, this is what 50-year-olds look like. That was my attitude. And I'm still kind of in the same size. That's what was tricky for me. My body was changing its shape and its way of looking, but I was kind of wearing the same size. You just lie to yourself and you just listen to people saying it's menopause belly and it's this, and that's how we look, and look at this. And I really did buy it for a year or so. I was like, this is it. My beautiful body days are behind me. I'm never going to have a body that I love. Like, let me start out in a bikini. I'm not going to have that again. That was my younger years, but I feel like I look better now and I feel better now. And I'm excited just because I just keep getting more muscle every week, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Do you feel like you have more energy because of it?
I've always have I do have a little bit of ADHD. So the energy is always there. Do I feel like I can, that feeling I wanted when I went through my divorce, and I want my kids to know that I can, move that couch if I have to. Yeah. I feel like at this age, I can do everything. I feel very strong. I do 2 days a week. I do a Pilates sculpt, which is kind of like a HIIT class. 2 days a week. I train with Jenny 3 days a week. I dance 4 nights a week.
Wow.
I do the jump class on Saturdays. Yeah. I'm active all the time. I'm never like, I'm too tired, or I'm going to skip or cancel. But all of these things, I'm fortunately in a place where my children are adults. I'm very selfish with my money and my time. I can do all these things. I get to do them. I look at it like I get to go train with Jenny, and then I get to, do this, or I get to teach TK all day, which I love to do. And then I get to go to Pilates, and then I get to go dancing later. My God, I'm living the best life, It's the phase of life that I'm in. So it's that, I'm 53, and yes, I'm getting older, but my God, it comes with all these freedoms that I didn't have at 43,
Let's go back to how much, do you know how much weight you lost, or how many sizes you went down from
oh my God,
what you thought you were to what you are now? Because I've just watched you.
She's got the data, Larissa.
Yeah, I have it because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I was eating all day and eating. I felt like I was eating really good food, and I was just dropping. But to me, it was like the alcohol was keeping me really fat. I'll say it. I was fat.
Well,
okay, I started off at one. I was very inflamed in every place, and my face, the pictures. Oh my God, I just don't even like looking at them. Honestly, when Jenny posts those before and afters, and she does her little promos, I'm like, I cannot believe, and it makes me laugh because I'm like, wow, this big smile because I'm like, I look good. I'm just doing this to help my friend. I'm 50. Look at me,
I don't need this.
I mean, yeah, I'm just doing it for my friend. Okay, I started off at 151. The first week after the challenge, I didn't write down any weight. But the next time I was at 143.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I'm 151 the first time. And then I went 2 weeks later, I was at 143. The next week I was 141. The next week I was 138. I didn't,
Holy
for some
cow.
reason, write the rest of them. But that first challenge, I lost 17 pounds, but I had gained muscle. The next time, I lost like 4 pounds of fat and gained 4 pounds of muscle because it was summertime. And all I had to do was
Wow.
worry about my food prep. So that was very encouraging. That second time, I was, oh my God, I get this now. I get how to
Yeah.
do this now.
So what are you now?
Today, I weigh 127.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
Like last time I did the body spec, I was 20% body fat BMI.
Mm.
I could see it and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go under that 20%, which I'm not really. I remember one of the meetings with Jenny, I was like, when do you know you're done? Because people were kind of commenting on how I didn't look that great. They're like, you're looking a little thin, And I was like, how do you know when you're done? And she's like, how do you feel? So once I got to that 129-ish, I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm not trying to lose any more weight. So she coached me. She was like, you're going to add a carb. When there's a no carb day, you're going to do a carb. If there's a 1 carb day. So she trained me on how to maintain where I wanted to be, which is what I
And
love
still be
about her. It wasn't about a number. It wasn't like, you're trying to be this. It was like, how do you feel? Where's your
I
BMI
love
at?
that.
Yeah, I love that too, because, it's not about your weight. It's about your muscle and your bones and your
quality of
How you
life, right?
feel.
Your health span.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy too,
that's
the
so
more
funny.
you build muscle, it literally transforms your body type. Like it really does recalibrate your body.
Body recomposition. It's a very real
Yeah.
thing.
I feel so good. I'm telling you, all this hip pain that I see people talk about on Facebook, I'm like, just stop drinking and eating sugar. I'm like, I feel like I have the magic answer there. And, you see all the advertisements for take this and that. And I'm like, I have the easiest
Oh.
answer for you, because I have none of that. All of that is gone. I feel like my body is thanking me every day. And the water, just drinking water. I mean, when you're not drinking any water at all, and then you go to being hydrated all the time, it's like being born again. You're like, oh my God, is this how other people, feel? And I'm
That is
always
so
with my
true.
little bottle. I'm like, oh yeah. And it's just awesome. And even like Larissa has introduced the bone broth to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it just keeps getting better. I just keep adding another layer. With the Function Health, I did the Function Health, and now I have my
Mm.
supplement regimen, so that's why I'm loving this podcast and the whole just learning more, and then you just add more. And I don't feel overwhelmed. I'm not trying to make 80 changes at once. It's just like, change this. And then, and I always tell people that start that 7-week challenge, I'm like, don't notice the weight loss first. Notice other things, your skin, your poop, your hair, your sleep, your mood. There's so many other benefits of cutting out processed food and all of those things that are killing us.
There absolutely is. It's all the non-scale victories. That's what it's usually called. It's like so many things that happen. But I will say, I would never in a million years have believed that you're 53, first of all. Just for people listening, we have video too, and she looks phenomenal. And so you don't look thin, you look healthy. So that's just, it really is all about how you feel and how you're treating your body, and it shows. And so I love that. I love that whole story.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But I do feel I have added muscle. I think in that beginning stages, I did lose weight rapidly. And I probably didn't look as healthy. I feel really fit and healthy now. People will tell me, they're like, oh my gosh, are you a trainer? Like, people think I'm a trainer. I'm like, no, but I do train.
It's kind of like the concept, I think, where I saw a meme or something where they were talking about like how crazy it is that the world is so full of processed foods, or at least in our country, that the concept of eating natural, wholesome foods from the ground and meat and things like this is considered a diet.
I know. I saw that one too.
Isn't that insane? That's the way that we're naturally have always eaten throughout history of mankind. And now that's considered a diet because we're just so inundated with hyper processed, crap that it's bizarre how much perspective has shifted.
I know. And people would say to me, oh, well, we can't go to that restaurant because of your diet. And I'm like, anywhere that we go, any restaurant we go to, I can get a protein and a salad. Don't even go there. It's not a problem. But yeah, the world will make you think you're extreme, you're crazy. And I know how to feed my body. I'm just like, when you know better, you do better.
Well, I think too, people naturally want to, if they're going to make a bad decision, they want other people to make a bad decision with them, so then they feel validated by it. So I think that's natural for people to be like, I'm not losing weight, you are. So they want to compare. I think that's a natural thing for people to do.
Yeah, people
Yeah, I
making
think
the
so.
harder choices are making everybody else feel uncomfortable for their choices. I
Yeah.
guess is probably what it really. It's like with drinking.
Yeah.
If you decide not to drink, it makes people uncomfortable, and that's a shift that you have to manage when you decide to stop drinking, because it makes everybody else uncomfortable that you're not when they are, because then they have to look at themselves and think about what they're doing.
Yeah. And reflect on their own
Yeah.
choices.
It is natural, and we all feel that. Like I've been on both sides of that, so I get it. But it is difficult when you're making a change.
I know. I've been on both sides too. I just can't believe some of the dumb things I used to say and
Right.
do, and with the drinking. And I thank God for this whole thing, because the amount of drinking that I was doing. When I say I don't drink, I'm like, I'm dry. I don't say I'm sober. I say I just live a dry lifestyle. I don't call it sober. I was an alcoholic and I recovered, because that's got to be very hard and challenging. For me, it wasn't hard. I just
Yeah.
stopped one day and my body felt better 3 days later, and I was like, I'm done. I never need to do that again.
Yeah.
But so it's a dry lifestyle, but
But you feel great.
I feel really great. And I love, like, the few times I've been tempted to have a drink, very tiny temptation. And the next morning, I am so glad that I'm a very strong-willed person. Once I decide I'm going to do something, the discipline part is not hard for me. I'm pretty disciplined, and I look at it like a science experiment. If I have a sip of alcohol, and I just ruin the whole experiment. Now I got to start over, So
Yeah.
I always
Literally.
think of my things that way. Yeah. I'm really, when it comes to fitness and health and things like that, for some reason, I'm more disciplined than any other place in my life.
It's a great place to be
Oh.
disciplined. So
Yeah.
Oh, you look amazing. And it's been a huge role model for me, because I love watching you go through the process, and like, if she can do it, then I can do it. So that's kind of like, I've enjoyed watching you go through all the different rounds, and then
And I have enjoyed watching you. Oh my gosh,
Well,
I've enjoyed
in
watching
round
you,
one.
because I know, but you did exactly what I did in round one. Exactly. Like, I'm like, wow, this works. And I'm telling you, I'm such a fan of Jenny. I did it myself. I've seen all the people in the group. They all change in some way, but seeing Larissa, like, every day, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this, because I love that it can work for anyone who wants to do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Well,
it's
round
like,
one starts for me next week. Woohoo!
oh my gosh, I have to get in there. I want to see you guys. I mean, you're going to love it. I mean, you're starting at a great age.
Yeah. You are starting at a
Sure.
great age.
It's so good to hear that, you guys, because I feel like I'm starting so late.
Well, you're going to get to do this lifestyle longer than Larissa and I will. We're only going to get to do it till we're 100, and that's sooner for me. But you're going to learn it earlier and do it longer, so your benefits will just be amazing.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait to start. To all the women who might be listening, what advice would you give them about changing their lifestyle for the better?
I would say have a reason that is going to keep you motivated. For me, it was my children. I felt bad for them. I was like, I'm going to be a single mom, and they're going to be stuck with just having me, and I'm going to always have to be borrowing people's husbands. And I was like, no. I don't want them. I don't want to perceive myself that way, and I don't want them to look at me that way. I'm going to do what I can to make sure they're secure and they feel like I'm healthy, more than anything, healthy. So choose something that's going to keep you chasing that goal. So mine has changed over the decades, but I never stopped. I'm always pursuing, like, what else can I do, and what else can I do? And just pursuing it constantly has kept me pretty healthy. And now at 53, the healthiest that I've ever been. So choose something that motivates you. That's not a wedding coming up, and it's not a graduation coming up, or I have to fit in this dress for this reunion. Choose something that's forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, good why. Choose your why. That's good advice.
All right, we're going to do Rewire rapid fire questions. So we're going to ask you 5 questions, and then you just tell us on spot, like, nothing too deep. Like, you don't have to, like, go crazy. All right, first question. What's one simple daily hack you'd tell every woman to rewire her energy, her hormones, her mood right now?
Eat protein in the morning.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. What's a wellness myth or should that you've ditched that changed everything for you?
Myth is that if you exercise, you can eat or drink whatever you want.
Ooh, yeah.
I believe that. I did believe that, I should say.
Yeah, me too.
When you're younger, you can.
That's true.
Yeah.
You have a lot more grace when you're younger. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm definitely in that stage. It does not last. Okay, next question. If you could keep only one thing in your routine, whether it's a supplement, a habit, or food, or whatever in that realm, what would it be and why?
One thing would probably be lifting because muscle, it just benefits us in so many ways to have more muscle in our body. So that's one thing I never want to go without.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay, what's your go-to feel good in 5 minutes reset when life just gets chaotic? Like you just need a quick reset. What's your go-to?
Dancing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love when I'm sitting around and we teach a dance class and my boyfriend will say, "Oh, can I try something? Can we try a move?" I was like, "Yes." I just love it. I love moving with music and I just that always works for me. I'm never too tired to dance.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you haven't even told Malerie what you dance.
Yeah, what do you dance?
We dance salsa and bachata.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. And it's something like from my childhood that I always wanted to do. And it's so funny that after all these things I've been through and all the decades and everything at the age I'm at now, it's like I dance like 4 nights a week. And it's just part of my life. It's something that I do all the time and I love it.
And they teach other people how to do it.
That's cool. That is so cool.
Be the pretty arm. Yeah.
Do the part that you love.
All right. So the last question, what's one guilty pleasure that actually supports your wellness or that you refuse to feel guilty about?
Okay, I will say that every now and then, I never ever used to eat ice cream, but Juan found these keto, they look like a Haagen-Dazs bar.
Ooh, I love those. I had one today.
Yeah, the box said keto on it. I was like, let me see.
Yeah.
He's like, there's 1 gram of sugar. I was like, I don't know. I don't even eat ice cream. Why would I start now? But I did have one, and now if they're in the house, I will grab one, and I really enjoy it.
They are good. As far as like low sugar treats go, I literally had one today. It was delicious. Okay, so ladies, remember our big takeaway. So we're prioritizing our strength training. We're adding shorter, powerful bursts of cardio, and then simply just walking more, especially after meals. This gives us way better results with a lot less stress on our bodies.
Soraya's story really shows us what is possible when we make these shifts. She's proof that everyday women can feel stronger, more energized, and more confident.
Yes, and from one woman to another, our approach to health and lifestyle has to change as we age. And these are things that we are seeing that actually work in real life. Fitness is just not optional if you want to age gracefully and have true health span.
So share one small cardio movement win in our community this week, and let's cheer each other on as we step into our strength era. So if you wanted to lift weights, lift something heavy this week, post it in there. Or if you're just going to continue on with our challenge, whether it's walk, jog, or ruck, that's always great. So get moving, especially if it's after a meal, or lift something heavy today.
Yes. And remember, our mission is simple on this podcast. We want to help you truly know your body and take ownership of your health one biohack at a time. Our own family health curveballs have pushed us deep into this journey. And wow, what we have learned has changed everything for us. So now we're here to share with as many women as possible. So if this episode lit a spark for you, or if it made you think of an incredible woman in your life, please share it, hit like, be sure to subscribe, spread our message, and bring some real health inspiration to the women in your life. And we will catch you guys on the next episode.
So you can do the recap and then I'll introduce Soraya.
Okay, it's more than that. Did you look at the outline? It's like way more than that.
Okay, look at the outline, Larissa.
All right, Ashley's forcing me to.
I don't know. I don't monitor that and count it, but I know that the Aura said I went over my goal by 380% the other day. So I'll start monitoring that.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever seen that on my Aura ring. It's like, yeah, you doubled it. I was like happy that I was at like 150%, not 380%.
But anyway, I got off track, but.
All right, you wellness rock stars. That's a wrap on this episode of My Wellness Rewired, Hacking Women's Health. We've had a blast dishing out the hacks and laughs, but hold up, let's keep it real.
Yep, we are not doctors. We are just sharing our biohacking adventures and learning right alongside you. Nothing we say is medical advice, so always, always check with your healthcare provider before trying any new wellness tricks.
Absolutely. This podcast is all about inspiration and entertainment, not prescriptions. So join our Facebook group for more sassy wellness vibes. Catch you next time.